Activities in our daily life, like using the computer, driving, looking at our text, all create a sort of rounded upper back. In this practice, we'll be opening the upper back by taking the heads of the arm bones back. We'll also be doing some supine restorative poses so that you can allow the muscles in your upper chest to just release more fully. You'll gain more upper back flexibility for back bends. You'll need blocks of strap and a blanket. Let's begin. Take your strap, put it around your back, right under the shoulder blades. Now throw each end over your shoulders and hold on to your strap. Notice how this allows you to really open the chest. I like holding the strap pretty low. Primarily, we're working on muscle memory here to open the chest. Step wide. Look at your feet, make sure they're parallel to each other, and just do a simple forward fold. Just draw forward. Keep on pulling the ends of the strap as you draw down. We're not going too far. We're just saying hello to the backs of our thighs, to our hamstrings. Inhale, lift up. Now draw back just slightly. Reach your hands back as you open your chest. Again, exhale and bow forward. Inhale and lift up. Just easily draw your gaze up and back. And one more time, bow forward, not too deep. We're just kind of easily working our way into the practice with the heads of our arm bones back so that we get just that feeling of what it's like to have this openness in the chest. Take your strap off. Now let's do some poses as if we had the strap on. Sometimes holding the strap, your hands just get a little bit contracted, so feel free to shake them out. Come to the front of the mat. We'll do the 12 postures of Surya Namaskar or Sun Salute. At the front of your mat, inhale, reach your arms up and back to get this nice opening of the upper chest. Exhale, come down to the floor. Bend your knees and place your hands alongside your ankles to step your right leg back. Have your right knee come down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, take your hands down. Come to downward facing dog. Allow your breath to be full and bright. Come to a plank position and lower yourself all the way down. On your mat, draw your heart forward in a baby cobra pose. Keep your elbows bent. Exhale, soften. Come to all fours position. Make your way to downward facing dog. Pause there. Look forward. Step your right foot right between your hands. Bring your back knee down. Reach your arms up and slightly back. Little back bending again. Exhale, take your hands down. Step your back foot forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up and slightly back. Exhale, place your hands right in front of your heart. In this prayer pose, notice how it engages the shoulders so nice. It hugs the shoulder blades in toward each other. As the bottom parts of the shoulder blades hug in, you get this nice feeling of opening of the upper chest. Keeping that awareness, Inhale, take your arms up and slightly back. Exhale, draw down in a forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, left foot steps back and arms reach up in a low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Release your hands down, downward facing dog. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Inhale, come to a plank position. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, move the heart forward with a nice lifting quality, strong back muscle quality to reach your heart forward in a nice back bending gesture. Come back to downward facing dog, where you'll step your left foot right between your hands, bring the back knee down. Once again, reach up in a low lunge. Reach your gaze up, your hands back. Exhale, hands down, and step the back foot forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up and back. Exhale, place the hands right in front of the heart. So we did several back bending, upper chest opening sorts of poses. We'll continue to engage and open the upper chest by taking the strap once again. In the same way that we just did, you probably have seen parents with straps around their kids that the straps are kind of like harnesses, and they allow great freedom in the arms, but yet control. So it is in this setup. You're holding the strap toward the end. Step to the top of the mat. Step your left foot back. Park your back heel down. Still drawing the heads of the arm bones back with the power of your hands on the strap. Bend the knee to come to this variation of Virabhadrasana number 1. And now exhale and draw down in a forward fold with your front legs straight. We'll do that 2 more cycles. Inhale, lift up, bend your knee, lift your gaze up, reach your hands back even more. Exhale, straighten your front leg. And each repetition, just notice how you can go just a little bit deeper in both the back bend and the forward bend. Bend your knee, and it's a back bend. Draw the heads of the arm bones back. Straighten your leg, and it's a forward bend on the exhale. Inhale, rise up. Release your hands and just give them a rest for a moment. You can shake them out. If holding onto the strap irritated your hands, then by all means, just shake it out, give them a rest. Step your right foot back. Take hold of the strap, bend your front knee, come to the back bend by just reaching the hands back. Now come to the forward bend by straightening the front leg and drawing down. 2 more cycles. Inhale, bend your front knee, keep your back heel parked solidly so that as you lean back, you can open your chest nicely with great balance. Exhale, straighten your front leg, draw forward and down, maybe a little bit deeper. It's just a wake-up call for the hamstrings. We're not going too deep here. Bend your front knee. Same thing, nice back bending action. Straighten your front leg and draw down. Root down through the back heel to inhale and lift up and release your hands from the strap. Step your back foot forward and let's take the strap off. The strap gives you this idea of how to take the heads of the arm bones back and continue that through your practice. We'll come from standing poses to our belly now. As you come to your belly, reach your left arm forward, rest your head on your arm, roll to your side. On your side, you'll be able to access the right shin as you hold on to the right shin or top of the right foot nicely. You get a nice stretch on the right side of the body. Now just gracefully roll over to line your back for a moment with your right hand on the shin or the foot. Reach your right knee away from your heart to get as much length as possible on that side of the body. And slowly come back to where we started, just on your side. So rest your head again on your left arm. Begin to work your right foot by pushing it away from your pelvis to start opening the right shoulder more. Now, gracefully roll yourself to your belly again. With your left arm extending out, allow the left hand to draw toward you as the right foot draws away from the pelvis and release down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften down. 1 more time. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, soften. Release and extend your right arm. Rest your head on your right arm. Draw over to your side and bend your left knee. Take hold of the shin or the top of the foot. Give yourself a nice stretch there on your side. From your side, roll over to your back. Just lie on your back so you get this nice length with your right arm extending. You feel the length on the right side as you try to reach your left knee just a little bit further away from your heart. You feel a nice stretch to the quadriceps. Come back to where we were on the side. Roll gently over to your belly. With the right arm extended, with the left hand on the foot, inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, let the right hand just kind of slide forward. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, you lift up. Exhale, soften. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, soften. Release your foot. Now come to all fours position. Just look at this just for a moment. You'll be able to follow the instructions without looking in a bit. But I'm setting up so that we can do a passive supine heart opener. And we're doing this in such a way as to allow for a pillow for our head and some lift to the area of the heart. I'm using these kind of narrow blocks so I can set them up in one of 2 ways. I'm setting it up now parallel to the long edge of the mat, or you could even set it up perpendicular to the long edge of the mat. This other block that I'm using as a pillow, it really depends on your body. You can have that as a tall pillow or not. And as you come to lie down, you have the block just slightly under your shoulders and your head resting on the other block. And at first, it may not feel that comfortable, so you may want to just move slightly in order to make some adjustments. My head feels too high, so I'm going to take it down a notch there. Now, if you don't have blocks, or if these blocks just feel way too uncomfortable for you, you may want to use a blanket or a towel. We'll be here for a few moments. Those of you that are uncomfortable, just check this out for a moment. Using a rolled blanket, you can do the same thing. Obviously, it's not quite as firm as the blocks. You draw just below the shoulders, right behind the sternum, back. Your head can come to the mat or use a block as a little pillow. So whichever way you decided to come to this pose, we are going to stay in this pose just for a few more minutes. So bend your knees and place your feet together for supine badha konasana, Supta Baddha pose. So we get a bit of a hip opener and a lot of heart opening. This just reinforces the actions that we did to create a little bit of muscle memory as we took the heads of the arm bones back with our strap. And now that part of the spine that is naturally kyphotic over time becomes more and more rounded for many of us. We're just trying to take it back to its natural curve, thereby opening the upper chest, giving us more space to breathe. If you haven't already, you can close your eyes and simply take your attention to your breath. Have the in-breath be very long and full. Pause after the in-breath. Take a very long out-breath after the pause. Pause again after the out-breath. Just keep attuned to your breath. Some people like to count between the in-breath and the out-breath, even counting the time and the pause between the cycles of the breath. Do whatever technique you're drawn to in order to keep your attention to your breath. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Breathe in deep. And breathe out long. Now stay attuned to the breath. Very easily draw your inner knees together. Roll over to one side. Remove the props that you used. Again, lie down with your feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana. Just kind of notice how it feels. You can still feel the lift of the chest as if the blocks are still underneath, or as if the blanket or towel roll is still underneath. And it gives you more spaciousness in the upper chest. Draw your inner knees in toward each other. Roll over to your side. And once again, lift yourself up. Come to all fours position. From all fours position, lift yourself up so you're kneeling. Tuck your back toes under. Reach back for your right foot. You can either reach back for your right heel, or for some of us, it makes more sense to have the tall block by the heel. Place your right hand at either the block or the heel. Reach your left arm forward. Plug it in. Take the heads of the arm bones back. Reach your arm up and reach your arm over so you get this nice length to the side. We were doing this on our side and back, and now in the kneeling position. Inhale, rise up. Do that on the opposite side. So once again, feet are tucked under. Your choice. You can take the block or take your hand to the heel. Reach your right arm forward. Take the head of the arm bone back first before reaching your arm up and back. And find this nice fullness. Take your gaze back. Inhale, rise up, come out of the pose. Now step your left foot forward. So you come into a high lunge. Take your right hand to the heel, reach your left arm forward, plug it in, take the head of the arm bone back, reach up and over. Once again, this really nice fullness that you get in this back bending gesture. Inhale, lift yourself up. Now come to kneeling just so that you can trade sides. You can use the block or not, or tuck your toes under or not. Reach your hand back. With the left hand at the heel, pull the head of the right arm bone back. Reach up and over. Enjoy your breath. Enjoy this fullness that you get. Inhale and rise up. Come to standing just for a short review. Take your strap in the same way we did just at the front of the class. Now that you've done many poses to open the shoulders, notice now as you step wide, pull your feet in toward each other. You get this nice fullness of the upper chest. It feels so easy to come toward back bending and to keep that nice shoulder alignment, to come forward in a forward fold. Inhale and rise up. Take the strap off. Interlace your fingers. Now, typically in classes and in your practice, the way you'll do this action is to interlace your fingers behind your back. So let's do that. Take the heads of the arm bones back. Just remember that feeling of the strap, just allowing your shoulders to help you open the upper chest. Now come to the forward fold with your fingers interlaced. You can lift up your interlaced fingers with your shoulders in extension. Now just notice how easeful this is with all the poses that we did to open this area. You can release your hands to your low back and with a slight bend to your knees, root down to rise up. So we did a lot of shoulder work that allowed us to take the heads of the arm bones back for a nice shoulder extension. Now we'll do a little shoulder flexion, taking the arms up over the head. So a little bit different movement, but still working to open this upper chest. Grab your blocks. I like the blocks on their sides. With the blocks about shoulder width apart, take your elbows to the blocks. Press the elbows very firmly. Walk your knees back. Take the hands in this prayer position. Press the blocks. Draw your heart toward the earth. Keep a strong action of the arms. With your hands in a prayer position, reach your hands back toward your back body. Now, I'm feeling, and you may feel like the belly is just kind of this hammock right now. Now that your shoulders are nice and open, let's take our attention to getting more engagement in the kidney area. So draw from the low ribs back and breathe in to find fullness just below the ribs. Keep on allowing a nice ease as you draw the heart toward the earth. The hands reach back. Press into the blocks to inhale and lift yourself out of the pose. Come to lie on your back with your knees bent. Lift your pelvis up. Let your pelvis be supported by the blocks. For a passive back bend, setu, bandha, sarvangasana. The blocks allow you to maintain this nice opening of the upper chest by elevating your pelvis. If you'd like to take your feet up in this position, that's fine, but we want to maintain this nice opening of the upper chest. So continue a nice, easeful, steady breath. A nice softening of the outer body. It's your time to just bring your awareness inside to your breath. Notice how the practice of opening the upper chest allows your breath to travel so much more easily to the upper chest. Keep that awareness. And with that awareness, you start to notice that that helps you direct the breath to find even more fullness and spaciousness in the area that we focused on in the practice. In your own time, you can draw your feet to the earth if your feet are lifted. You can lift your pelvis off the blocks to come to Savasana. Let your pelvis rest, your legs lengthen. And your attention remains on this upper chest. It's your time to just kind of assimilate the actions that we've done. And to check in to the sound of the breath, the freedom of movement that you feel just through the breath. And the sense of gratitude that you get from just allowing yourself this time to come to the mat. This practice, we came to the mat to open the upper chest area for back bends. There are many techniques that we can use. You breathe in deep. You breathe out long. The freedom of the breath, the ease of the breath allows you to express this gratitude to yourself so fully. It gives you such a feeling of ease, such a feeling of rejuvenation. and you feel so much more expansive. As you're ready, you can slowly bend your knees and roll over to your side. And slowly lift up. We honor these teachings of yoga that allow us to refine our alignment, and in this case, refine our alignment of the upper chest and shoulders. To honor the teachings, we bow. Namaste.